Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Health Chats podcast. I am your host, Kelsey Grieveson, and today's episode is a live call from my coaching community where I talk about mindset. We're going to go over a growth mindset versus a fixed mindset and 5 techniques that can help you shift from fixed, from disempowered, from limiting beliefs to growth, to empowerment, and to truly achieving any result that you are looking for. Your mind is so powerful. This is one of my favorite topics, and we will dive right in. Enjoy.
Something you might not know about me, for my first 2 years of coaching, I did just mindset. I did not do fitness. I did not do nutrition, even though I had those in my back pocket. I realized through my own journey that it all starts in your mind. You can have everything perfectly laid out. You can have the program, the workout program. You can have the nutrition. You can have this picture of where you want to go. But if your mind isn't right, you will shatter at any time life comes in and throws you a curveball. So much of the success that I see is those who have that strong mind. And so I'm going to share my screen because I did make a little presentation. Growth versus fixed mindset. And then I have some mindset shifting techniques that you can bring in to help you move from one to the other. And it might not be that you're in one of these or the other, but it could be more of those internal stories that are keeping you stuck. And maybe you've felt stuck for a long time. Maybe you are like, okay, I have all of the protocols, but it's something in your mind, some sort of story or identity that is blocking you. So let's go into it. So, what is a fixed mindset? First of all, if you've never heard that term before, I feel like most of you have, being that you've been here for quite some time. But yeah, what is it? What does fixed mindset really mean? And I'm going to just keep an eye on if anyone is joining here. It comes down to our beliefs. So, there's a book, if any of you guys like to read, it's called The Biology of Belief. It is absolutely amazing. It's by Bruce Lipton. He has studied belief, which I think is a really balanced and harmonious way of bringing in the woo-woo side of things. Like, I mean, me as a yoga teacher, I have a lot of that woo-woo, but also the science, because there is biology behind how we speak to ourselves and what those beliefs are and how they came up and how we can shift them. So in a fixed mindset, often our beliefs say something like, I am the way I am, or if I fail, it means I'm bad at this. Like, we attach meaning to our failures. Or if it's hard, it's not for me. This is very fixed. Behaviors, when you have a fixed mindset, when you exist in that place more often, is avoidance. We avoid the challenge. If it's hard, we are like, no, I can't do it. Or we give up pretty easily. We take feedback very personally. We think it's about us rather than about the behavior. We're like, no, you're hurting me, my ego. Or we stay in the comfort zone and we don't really try at all. That's someone with a very fixed mindset. And let me say, I don't think any of you guys have a fixed mindset. Any of you that are here, it takes a very courageous woman to invest in herself and to step into a health and a fitness journey. So I would say you probably don't have this, but you probably can relate to it. You've maybe had it in the past, because I know I have. The other one is the growth mindset. The beliefs in a growth mindset sound like, I can learn this. You're given a new challenge, you're given a new task. Maybe it's a new workout program with different exercises, or it's a new meal plan and different macros. You say, yeah, I can do this. You say effort creates progress. You lean into the effort. And feedback, especially in a coaching dynamic, it helps me improve. Looks like leaning in. You see a challenge, and instead of running the other way, you're like, no, I can do that. And you see mistakes as data, just as your coaches do. We often will say, like, this is not verdict. This is data. We need to see, why were the calories higher this one day or this one week? Or why did your weight go up? It's not personal. It's data. You stay curious. Curiosity is the childlike attribute that as you become an adult, which we're all adults, but we're all children on the inside, really, it helps life stay exciting too. Like you're curious about, oh, okay, maybe I don't know everything. Maybe there's more that I can learn. And your behaviors are also continuing to go, continuing to push forward, even and especially when it's uncomfortable. So, some mindset shifts, if you do feel like maybe you slip into the fixed mindset or you're stuck or you're feeling that internal negative dialogue, I want to go over. The first one is the all or nothing thinking. And this one, feel like almost all of us probably can relate to, myself included. I spent many years personally in the all where I was like, it's got to be all. It has to be perfect. Workouts every day, hitting my macros perfectly, only whole foods in my body. That's not realistic. But on the other side of the coin, the nothing, which is usually exists in the polarity of things, that's also not realistic to do nothing, to give up, to say, I messed up this week, so I'm just going to like throw in the whole towel. It's a very beginner's mindset and it's unsustainable. It really keeps us from ever building a routine or sticking to healthy habits long term. It looks like I ate a cookie after dinner, so my whole day of eating healthy is ruined. I had this one Oreo and now the high protein breakfast and lunch and my steps and everything, like none of them count. Have you guys seen those videos on Instagram or TikTok where people kind of make fun of it in a visual form where they're like, they drop a sock out of their laundry bin and they're like, oh, and they dump the whole laundry? It's like that. It's funny. But our mind works that way sometimes. So being aware of if we're in that all or nothing thinking. It also looks like if I don't work out every day, I didn't succeed. Even if you got like 3 workouts or maybe even 2 and you got your steps, we still beat ourselves up. So the successful, healthy women that I see, and being one of them now, it's taken me time to get here. We do not eat clean all of the time. 100% is not realistic. We skip workouts. We have days where we eat a pint of ice cream. I know I had many of those days over the winter. It's different here in Indonesia. You can't really get pints of ice cream, or I just haven't seen them. But we find the middle way. We find what's sustainable for us and hear that what's sustainable for you. This is not me. This is not the next girl here. It's what's sustainable for you. If you miss a workout or you have a treat, can you be kind to yourself and affirm that this is just one day? This is just one meal. This is just one moment. It's not, I got to throw in the entire towel. I messed it all up. And if cutting out something, I put cookies here because that's the example I'm using. If this is 100% going to lead to a binge because you know yourself better than everyone, allow yourself to have a cookie. Have a cookie, have one every day if that's what it takes. If you notice through the week that you're all in, no cookies, no Oreos, and then you get to Saturday and you're eating 7 boxes, which probably is a little extreme, but maybe let yourself have a cookie every day. We want what we don't have, so don't restrict too much. So that's the all or nothing. That's how to shift it. Another technique is NLP. NLP is neuro linguistic programming, neuro being our brain, linguistic being the language, and programming being our unconscious thought patterns and behaviors and just kind of like how we think. The cool thing with our mind is once you become aware, you can never become unaware. You've probably heard people say ignorance is bliss. When you become aware of something, you're no longer ignorant to it. So it's a double-edged sword because it's like, oh, okay, I'm aware of how I've been speaking to myself, how I've been unconsciously going for the cookies every Friday night at the same time because it's a habit. But once you're aware of it, you're like, oh, I can shift this. And many beginners, they might avoid yoga, meditation, mindfulness out of fear of what you might find in your own thought patterns because It is deep work, to be real, to be honest. It's not always comfortable sitting with ourselves and being aware of ways that we sabotage ourselves and ways that we speak negatively to ourselves. But the hard work is where the results live. Yes, it might be hard. Yes, it might be something to avoid. But why are you here? Come back to that. Come back to your why. So, using NLP, you can spend 5 to 10 minutes a day in silence, meditation in the morning, meditation at night, and just listen to your internal language. We're not trying to judge it and be like, oh, I just told myself something really negative and beating ourselves up about it. But listen to it. See what that internal story really is, because what you believe, back to that biology, that is your exact reality. It is linked right there. You tell yourself one thing, your behaviors will follow. And you can actually rewrite these beliefs if they're not serving you. If you notice that you have this negative self talk that says, I am ugly. And then every time you look in the mirror, you're like, oh, I just don't even want to look at myself. You can become aware of that and you can rewrite it, because that is not true. That is a belief. That is something somewhere that you grasped onto. Maybe someone said something, a coach or a teacher or a parent or a sibling said something to you at one point in your journey and it's stuck, but it is not truth. It is not fact. It's a belief. Same with fat. I am fat. Are you? Or do you have fat? I have fat on my body, but here I am working towards decreasing that, towards turning into a fat burning machine by building some muscle and getting strong and fueling my body. It could be I am bloated. And notice a lot of these, they're I am statements. They're affirmations that you are something. But if we look at bloated, take it outside of yourself. You are not bloated. That's not you. I am Kelsey, because that's my name. I am not bloated, but I feel bloated right now because I probably had too many peas and lentils and beans and broccoli. I wonder what I can do to feel better. Maybe I need to go on a walk. And it changes to solution instead of like sitting in this feeling of whatever that internal story is. So that's the basis of NLP. Awareness of the language in your mind and then changing it. And that really does change your behaviors. The next shifting technique is addition versus subtraction, or an addition instead of subtraction. Often, when we start a journey, the beginner's mindset looks at what we need to take out of our life completely. We're like, whoa, okay, now I'm aware of all this stuff. I need to stop drinking so much. I need to stop eating so much sugar. I need to stop scrolling. I need to do this. I need to do that. I need to remove all of these things and subtract, subtract, subtract. Just feel like, even say that to yourself right now. How disempowering is that? When you're like, oh, I need to stop scrolling on my phone. Like, you're just sitting there beating yourself up. It doesn't feel good. It does not feel good. We can't change from a place of shame. So the mindset shift that you make is, instead of looking at what we're taking out and what's not serving us, because that's, again, just pouring energy there and pouring our focus there, give energy to what will serve you and aim your focus there instead. So addition looks like, okay, I'm going to start eating more vegetables at every meal. I'm going to fill half my plate. So you add that in. Plus, I'm going to start taking the stairs. Add that in at work instead of the elevator. I'm going to add in an extra liter of water in the morning before I drink my coffee. Or I'm going to journal while I'm watching my show in the evening. It doesn't need to be extreme. It doesn't need to be one or the other. So what can you add in that helps you feel also in control of what you're choosing in your life? The fourth one, and this comes back to a lot of that identity work and like the biology of belief, is being it before you see it. We can get super caught up in the end results and always looking so far away to, maybe it's 2 months from now or 3 or 4 or 5 months from now. And then in this current moment, which is really the only one that exists, we're so unhappy. We're like, "Oh, once I'm there, I'll be happy." But there, it just doesn't exist. It will one day, but you got to be happy with who you are now. And I know that's so much easier said than done, But before you can really become the woman that you want to be, you have to act as her. Because even 6 months from now, when you lose X amount of weight, you lose X amount of fat, if you aren't acting with the confidence, the conviction, with these more characteristic type traits that that woman you think has, she's not just going to have them because you lost weight. That's not how it works. You have to act as her now. This teaches us through biology of belief that our bodies can be changed by retraining our thinking. And DNA, it's controlled by signals from outside the cell. This includes our thoughts. This is actually really cool. So think of, how does your future self act? How does she talk? Does she have her shoulders back when she's talking to someone, or is she all like curled in and she's quiet and she's like scared? How does she walk? How does she think? How does she dress? How does she eat? How does she exercise? This person who's, again, X amount pounds lighter, is she acting the way that current you is acting? Probably not, because the behaviors that have gotten you to where you are, they shift in order to get to where you're going. So you got to be her before you see it. So I put that here. Be her. Who is she? Be her. Now, the last one, share a win. Celebrate your wins. And I believe every single win should be celebrated, because in order to really get empowered, to get into that state, you have to get excited about everything. Everything. When you focus on the good, it grows stronger. And then you start seeing everything as a win. You wake up and you're like, oh, it's raining again. But you know what? That's actually lovely, because there's so many plants around here and they're beautiful. And I appreciate the beauty of these plants. And I probably wouldn't appreciate them if it didn't rain enough for them to get water and for them to get green, right? Think of just like the perspective. I could wake up and be like, it's raining. My life sucks. So look at things as wins. How you choose to perceive life creates your reality. So and again, this goes to like the all or nothing thinking. If you're waiting for the big wins, for the end destination, who you are becoming or who you'll be in the next 6 months, you're going to be waiting and you're going to be focused on that. And you're going to be so unhappy with what's in front of you. So look at the little wins. I made my bed today. I smiled at a stranger. I took the stairs. I missed my workout. I ate like shit. I didn't journal, but I got my steps. Like, be realistic with yourself. There's always, always a win. So when you do your check-ins, I want to see wins every single time. Now, I want to hear from that some wins.
If this episode was helpful, inspiring, motivating, send it to someone that you know and love, and leave a comment below, either on YouTube, Spotify, or whatever platform you're listening on. Thank you so, so much for your support. The light in me sees the light in each and every single one of you. And I hope to hear from you soon. Thanks for listening. Bye.